Good morning, and welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And for the live people, apologies, and I'm a couple minutes late this morning, but I am here. And, Mercury's in retrograde, Venus is in retrograde. Everything's a little bit bogged down and slowed down this morning, but I'm here and you're here. And if it's not 11 a.m. or 11:05 a.m. on Sunday morning Eastern time, then you're watching this as a video. So welcome either way. So this should be interesting, interesting times. So we'll see what comes up in the cards. I'm going to get right into that in a minute. Let me see. What's going on? Well, we have a full moon tomorrow, and it's going to be opposing Pluto. So Pluto's conjunct the sun right now in Capricorn. So we're going to have the full moon tomorrow. So tomorrow at 7 live here on the channel, we're going to do an archangel transmission for the full moon. We do that every full moon. So that'll help to reset your energetic system, to help you to connect more deeply with spirit, and the angelic frequencies will help us to do that. So that's happening tomorrow. And what else? There's a few other things that are going on, but that's the important thing. So let me see. Possibly Tuesday, sometime this week, I'm going to come on live. I don't know what date yet, for some more Ascension updates and what's going on during the rest of January into February, because there's a lot of energy that's still unfolding, and that's still happening, and a lot of changes that's going to reflect in the world and in society, and the trajectory of things that are going on. So the main thing now is that we are continuing an awakening process here on the planet. As the energies continue to increase, it affects our cells, our nervous systems, our meridians, or our energetic systems. And I actually put out a video last week with some Ascension breathing exercises, that if you do these as a daily practice, it's going to allow your body and your energetic systems to gracefully upgrade as the energies around us upgrade. So that's part of what Ascension is. We're adjusting to new energetic frequencies. The whole planet is, so there's a lot of changes on the planet, and these breathing exercises helps to clear cluttered energy, but also helps to create more space within your vibratory fields, to gracefully assist in your body's ascending from our primitive bodies to our ascended bodies. So the idea with that is for it to happen gracefully, with a minimum or no of these ascension symptoms or ascension flus or things that are happening. And as the energy continues to increase, we just cannot have blockages within our energetic systems. They get magnified. The more energy that flows through us, the more the blockages get magnified, and more that messes with us emotionally, psychologically, and physically. So these exercises, very simple, were given to me from spirit, and it's for you. So we have that on the channel for anybody that's interested. So on that note, thank you for everybody that's here live. Good morning. And a lot of people are in. Very good. So what else is going on? A week from today, Sunday, we're going to have Doreen of the Children's School of Yoga do some nice Ascension yoga for us, and breathing. So we'll have more about that later on. And the other news is that this won't be here. This will be on Spirit Mind Family on Patreon. But I'm going to have a live event next Monday. I do a live video on the Spirit Mind Family every Monday. So I'm going to do that and talk about, I had COVID. I caught it over Christmas, and got a lot of insights. Actually having the virus inside of me, I got a lot of messages about it. Not crazy conspiracy stuff, although some crazy conspiracy stuff, but more like what it means for us in terms of our ascension and what its role is, like what messages that I got through going through the process of having the virus and then healing it, and using my mind over matter techniques, my breathing exercises, and how that worked out and everything. So anyway, that's going to be part of a live that we're going to do on Spirit Mind Family. You can just go to Patreon and look up Spirit Mind Family, and you can find us. And if it resonates with you, please join our family, our inner core community. And I think that's it. So what I want to do is pull our meditation card for the week now and get right into the tarot. So hi everybody. Yeah, I know we started late. It's already 11:11. It's like, oh yeah, we started late. Ivan and Gio, okay. I'm so cut your comments. I'm not quite understanding. That's okay. So tarot, basically, 78 card divination deck, right? A lot of people know that. It's divided into major arcana, 22 major arcana cards that align with the paths on the tree of life in the Kabbalah, and then the 10 number card are the 10 sephira on the tree of life, and the court cards also correspond to the different sephiras. So interestingly, as the energy filters down through the levels of what's called non-existence or Ensof on the tree of life, they kind of hit this God, I don't remember the names of it, Keter, like the top sphere on the top, but it hits it in this blinding light when these different like aspects of energy or the different universes in the multiverse kind of come together and create this most dense reality, which is our physical reality. And long story short is that the tarot, in my opinion, from what I've studied and what I've learned and what I've read, is really like what's the right word? It's like a representation, or almost like a symbolic manifestation of how the universe was created, how this physical universe and our physical lives were created. So all possibilities in a physical existence are contained within these 78 cards. So that's what, to me, makes it such a powerful tool, and why it's been for decades the most popular tool among psychics to do clairvoyant readings or future predictions and stuff like that. But its its value is manyfold, but one of its real values is that it's a really great meditation tool, and it can take us into different aspects of our own energetic makeup. So it can take us into different facets of our psyche. What's subconscious is at least 95%, and what's conscious is a very small percentage. So by working with the cards, we can start to understand more about what's going on in our subconscious and the totality of our being, and know thyself. So the more you understand yourself from all different aspects, from spiritual perspective as well as a physical perspective, the more you understand yourself, the more you understand spirit. Then you start to understand why you're here, what your life purpose is, why you chose to be here during such a crazy time and everything. So I've always been the first time I even touched tarot cards, it was in God, what year is that? 1983, I think. First time I even saw them and touched them, I said, this is something amazing and special. And basically what happened to me is that I met I was going to visit a friend and do some martial arts classes in Oklahoma University in Norman, Oklahoma. And he was living with a psychic who's since passed on, named Amberella. And she taught me how to use the cards. So when I first saw the cards, I basically stayed up for 48 hours straight. Talk about obsession, right? Or divine obsession. I stayed up for 48 hours straight, reading different books, looking at the cards, and I slept for about, I don't know how long. I think about 10 hours, which for me is crazy because I sleep usually 3 to 6 hours a night. So I slept like 10 hours after that, and that's how I got started on tarot. So anyway, little bit of Adam history for you. So what is Spirit telling us to meditate on this week? Oh, this is a good card. It's called the Wish card in the tarot. Um, and yeah, the nines are really about completions and fulfillments, and the cups are water, and it's about emotions. It's about feeling. It's about that kind of energy, intuition. So interesting card to pull as a meditation card. I mean, I'll take it as a good sign that perhaps it's, it's actually manifestation month on my, again, I'm going back to Spirit Mind Family, which is our membership program on Patreon. But every month we have a theme, and this theme, it's manifestation month, and this is a really good manifestation card because it represents fulfillment. So my feeling is, yeah, and I'm gonna recommend a slightly different process than I usually do for the meditation cards, and same, the same, general meditation. So get really relaxed. You can do this as a daily exercise, and if you have your own deck, use your cards. If not, take a little mental snapshot of the Henson Roberts deck's version of the nine of cups. And when you're nice and relaxed and present and vibrating in a higher frequency, so the idea is when you stop your thinking and you start to become aware of your breath, your body, and just allow yourself to be aware rather than in your thoughts, your consciousness raises. You just by doing that simple act, you get closer to spirit, and you start to activate more of your higher self. So once you're in that state, excuse me, then just step into the card and look at the whole scene. But while you're in the card, think about, and you can look at the cups as different wishes or different desires that you have in your life. Desire of the father, desire. So that's the origin of the word desire. And when you step in to the card, start to look around and what is it that you really wish to create in your life right now, whether it's more financial opportunity or new house or new partner, whatever it is, better health, whatever it is. When you step into the scene, excuse me again. Um, yeah, we're still clearing, the whole COVID thing from my system. So when you step in, imagine that you're in the scene that has already happened. Like if you want to, you live in the Caribbean or Hawaii like me or whatever it is, your ideal scene or having a family and children. As you step in, be in the scene, find that scene of your wishes fulfilled now. You've accomplished what you want to in this facet of your life or in this period of your life. You fulfilled it, and it's happening in the present. You're feeling it. You're feeling the joy that it's attained, and look at the scene around you and who's there. And I think that'll be a good exercise for the week. We're right around the full moon. The full moon energy is going to be pretty active most of the week. And even as this moon starts to wane, we stay in kind of a full moon vibe for a little while, for at least a few days after that. So Sharid is, who does a lot of our astrology numerology work here, is commenting, so you can see what she has to say because it's always very insightful and interesting. So that's basically what I would say to do this week. And the world is kind of spinning on its heels. It's kind of upending. I think for now, just kind of say screw the world. I'm going to create paradise within my own heart and my own life. And the interesting thing is we're not islands. What what we do and what we create in our lives helps other people to create good things also. So, it's not really being selfish if you have the intention that you really want to, do better for yourself in order to, help humanity grow, basically. So, pull an amazing power. Yeah, Pluto is, I think today or tomorrow. Well, Pluto moves so slow, and the sun only goes 1 degree per day. So, so Pluto and the sun are pretty much stacked up right now energetically. So, talking about kind of polar opposites. It's like Pluto, sort of the underworld, and this little planetoid that's like out in the middle of nowhere that has a crazy orbit around the Earth. And then the sun, that's like the source of all light, that draws its power from the central sun, which again is you can explain what the central sun is through Kabbalistic thinking, and how the higher universes or higher frequencies kind of come together, create this big light out of darkness, and then that's our physical universe being formed. And that's the central sun, and then the physical sun is sort of the physical counterpart of the central sun. Anyway, that's kind of how I see it. You may find different teachers have slightly different meanings of what the central sun really is, but it's the spiritual light, basically, that kind of shines in the etheric realms, for lack of a better explanation. The full moon are still in opposition, so very strong. That's what I thought. Thank you. So I'm gonna do a little 3-card spread now. Interesting things that are going on. Lot going on in the news. Obviously, that's gonna probably continue. The thing I wrote it in my notes. I was doing some meditation yesterday, and that's one of the reasons I want to do like an Ascension update, like just to kind of catch you guys up, because between the holidays and the transition into the year, and then getting ill and everything, I kind of sort of, so I'm slacking a little bit here. So I'm going to catch up on, and I wrote it down, but they were talking about something that's going to peak around the end of February, and I can't remember what it is, but it's definitely has to do with things like to keep an eye on things like supply chains, shortages, more upheaval in the earth. It had a lot to do with the financial system, but I have it written down because I was getting the messages last night, and I just, like, in the middle of my meditation, like, I better write this down, I'm gonna forget it. So should we just writing down some information about a e-learning course that Heather Istar, our healer, and myself did on mastering all the astrological, numerological issues and challenges and opportunities that are coming up this winter into the spring. So it's a real, we're kind of in the heart of this phase of the big shift in societies, in our society, and in our world, basically. And then, of course, we had a massive underground volcano yesterday, and tsunami throughout the Pacific Ocean. So, there's a lot that's shifting. There's a lot of energy hitting the Earth right now. A lot of neutrinos as the sunspot activity starts to approach its late 2024 peak. So that's going to be the peak of solar activity, and into 2025. So we're starting to ramp it up, and because the Earth's magnetic field is weaker than it's been in our whole lifetimes, that basically means that the solar flares, more energy gets through and affects the planet. So there's physical counterparts to what's happening spiritually with the increasing of energies. And a lot of it's neutrinos. They're subatomic particles that we don't feel them. They go through everything. Like to give you a good example of our true makeup, we're not solid. We're 99.99% energy. It's the spaces between the nuclei, the atoms. It's all energy, and A neutrino could, literally pass right through you with only a very slight chance that it'll actually hit something solid in your body, basically. So we have trillions of atoms, and a tiny neutrino that's about the size of an electron, maybe even smaller, can pass through your body without touching anything solid. I find that really fascinating. Anyhow, I had to. Even though I'm a psychic, I'm a science geek at heart. I have to be honest. So anyway, here we go. 3 cards for the coming week for our community, as well as maybe some trends of what's going on in the world. So I just have to clear my mind a second. Okay, stop my thoughts. Okay, that feels like the right cards. I think we got it. Here's my technology. So far, 2 4s and a tower. 2 4s and a tower. Oh boy. Buckle our seatbelts. Okay. So the tower card, it's interesting because it's key 16 in the tarot. Your 16 has some choice meanings in Chaldean numerology that Sharita may or may not update us on. But then we have the 4 energy. 4 is really, 4 is like a square. It's the foundation. It's the structure, and the tower tends to basically. um, the tower tends to explode the structure. Sometimes it's called it's reversed, which actually modifies the meaning a little bit. Let me see. um, one of these days we'll do actual PDFs and then do this on the computer. But today's not the day to do. Today it's clipboard. So 4 is very much about the structures, and 4 can be like a cross, and if you look at the Kabbalistic tree of life from above, or below, and I'm not going to draw the glyph or anything, but you can look it up. It looks like a cross, basically, if you look at it from above. So from a different angle than what they show you in 2 dimensions, and then in just so many different wisdom traditions, the West and the East alike. The crosses are an important symbol, important aspect of sacred geometry, and that's kind of the 4. It's like a square. It's like a cross. It's the foundation. It's the structure. It's what we build upon, and and Pentacles can represent money and security, and trying to hold on to what was just ain't working, basically. And I think that's why this is reversed, kind of telling us that this is a very nice card, though, to come up in the middle. The four of wands, very nice energy. It's almost like a very welcoming vibe, and I just feel like it's a spiritual way of saying, just security comes from within. Accept the fact that even if we were in the best of times, and everything was just great and thriving, there's nothing secure in a world that's inherently unstable. And what I mean by that, most of you probably know where I'm going with this, but everything in a physical world is temporary. So anything we have today, we may not have tomorrow. We may not have our physical bodies tomorrow, not to be morbid or anything, but these bodies are for rent. They're not for keeps. They're all water and meat sacks that we walk around in for 80 years if we're fortunate, and then when we leave our bodies, we're still consciousness, we're still spirit, we're still energy. We're just not in the physical anymore. So basically, the number 4 kind of reminds us of the fact that that stability is really what's in your heart and what's in your perceptions, and if you're really aligned with who you are as spirit, and you're connected with source and source energy, then you feel that sense of security because you know that you're immortal. You know that no matter what happens in the world or in the news or whatever it is, that your spirit, your soul is going to be fine because you're an immortal being of light and love. And so the idea, as you're doing your meditation to the Nine of Cups and stepping into this week, understand, vibrate from the heart. Because when we vibrate from the heart, we start to connect with that frequency that created everything. So there's science that starts to prove that when we elevate our heart to compassion and appreciation, gratitude, those higher emotions, higher love, we start to vibrate in the same frequency as the source, the universal source. And so, to make a long story short, science is starting, it's just scratching the surface, but starting to prove that God really is love. So I love that. And yeah, I mean, the Tower card reverse can kind of keep us stuck in a way, also, but there's a real upending of things. I mean, I think it's already starting. So, again, I've been in my 2022 forecast. So that's on the channel also, the 2022 psychic predictions. I believe I did mention later January, to watch out for things around the the financial sector. So that's what that could be representing. I'm also kind of seeing a little bit of like Capitol Hill in this in this part of the card here. Um, so there may be some things that are going on behind the scenes of trying to of new amendments or something. I almost feel like as I'm talking, I feel like they're trying to that spirit saying they're working on something to save something that was a blunder that they made earlier on or something like that. And whether that's has to do with the country's economy or whatever. I mean, I think that there's always the specter of mishandling things with the COVID situation and things of that nature. But to me, it just feels like they're trying to regain some sense of control or structure. So we may be getting more in the way of you know unsettling news, for lack of a better word, and things like that. I'm just checking your comments. Love the clipboard. Yes. um, Foot on the gas time reflection. Yeah, that's a good point because we've got the two most innermost planets in retrograde, and yet it's much better to just kind of you be in your center. Like I'm feeling it. I'm talking. I'm feeling my belly, my sacral chakras. I think spirit's trying to tell me through my body to tell everybody to get grounded. As we work with the heart, also work with the sacral chakra and the root chakra because this is more about our grounding and our connection to the earth and our connection, you know, to our own, to our own structures. In other words, get grounded and not necessarily put your foot on the gas, but rather maybe formulate plans or ideas. So this is a time to go inward with Venus and Mercury both retrograde. Time to go within, and I think the bottom line is get to know yourself better. This is the time to know who you are because we're programmed by society to believe we're something other than who we truly are. And it's systematic. It starts when we're infants. And we're basically energy. We're spirit. I mean, I'm not Adam. I'm not wearing these clothes. I'm not a medium. I'm spirit. I'm energy. I'm just kind of taking on this persona for a very, very short period of time. But that's not who I am. That's kind of like the projection of something into a temporary world that's very temporary. So, I think it's really about getting to know who you are. There's just so much anxiety out there in the world that's increasing as we move forward. And then we lose touch with who we are. We lose our roots. So the 4 is about grounding. It's about the foundations, the structure. With all that's going on in the world, and being said, we have to do this to stay safe. And then a week later, well, this isn't really working, so we need to, up the ante a little bit. And then, and it's not just about the virus. There's other things that are going on, but we can lose our footing. We can lose our sense of grounding, and we can get swept up in all this anxiety that basically severs our ties with the earth. It severs our ties with our heart, and therefore severs our ties with spirit. So I feel like this is really, the main message. It's all about structure. The tower, it's all about the structure. So I think in the next couple of weeks during this waning moon, and while your Mercury and Venus are still in retrograde, and even after Venus goes direct or stations for a while before it goes direct, I just think it's just going to be more of this kind of unsettling news, and more of like, getting people more into panic, and we have to stay grounded and know that you're going to be okay, that this is an awakening. This is a spiritual upgrade that's happening, and people just can't handle it. And the powers that be that want to control everything are losing their control, so they're trying harder. So people can't handle the energetic shifts, and then you pile all this bad news and all this fear-based news on top of it. It's affecting people's emotions. It's affecting their nervous systems. It's affecting their psyche. That's why we need to do practices. That's why Spirit gave me the breath exercises. So I'll link all of the stuff on the comments when this becomes a video, just so you know where to go to see these things, and maybe to do these breathing exercises, because it's really going to help you guys. And that's why I did it. It's really, really going to help. And now that I'm seeing the card, it's almost like that's why I'm repeating what I said in the beginning of today, because it's that important that we're able to be grounded, that we're able to allow energy to flow through us smoothly, because all that's going on in the world around us causes energy blocks. And when energy blocks, illness starts to fester. When there's energy blocks in and around the body, energy festers. It sets the seeds for illness, whether it's psychological or physical or both. Let the energy flow smoothly without obstruction. You're going to be healthy. Even if you get the virus like I did, you're going to be healthy, because you're going to get through it. And more importantly than the virus, there's a bigger picture than that. But again, it's an awakening. It's not a bad thing. It's just a very difficult adjustment. And when there's a lot of resistance to try to prevent the awakening, it makes that adjustment much, much harder. So ground, that's the underlying message here, is ground. And this 4 of Wands is like the shelter from the storm, so to speak. It's like being in the eye of the storm. And find something to celebrate. It's Dr. King's birthday, or celebrated birthday, tomorrow. So, enjoy your long weekend. Maybe, if you can, meet with family, and just kind of support one another, because the number 4 is a supportive number. It's a foundation. It's a structure. So support one another. That's what we do in this community. We're supporting one another, and and all the awakening communities are doing that. So that's the thing. We have to stay strong, stay grounded. So that's my rah pep talk for the morning. Let's move on to the next. I'm going to do a Native American card also. This is upon the surface here. I'm basically, you're correct that I'm really only touching on the surface of things, and it goes much deeper than what I'm what I'm able to access at this time, but also what I'm able to talk about on YouTube without getting censored as well. So anyhow, so let me see, because when I do this card, it pretty much augments what what the other cards are trying to tell us, I believe. So it's like, This is the one that wanted to come out. Shields. We've gotten, well, this is the one of shields. So it's like the Ace of Pentacles in the regular tarot, but it's the medicine shield. And in this shield, there's a cougar and a wolf. Interesting combination. So the big cats to me are strength and pride. Um, the cougar mountain lion can kind of loosely translate to the strength card in the tarot, which is key 11 or key 8, depending on which school of thought that you go. And it's really key 11, but in modern tarot, it's key 8. And if you look at the Chaldean numerology of 11, it much better matches the strength card than the justice card. And what it is overcoming. So the big cats are pride. They overcome the lower frequencies or lower impulses. So it's kind of like as human beings, we're both ascended masters and primitive beasts kind of rolled up into one, basically. And then we're here to try to work it out and find balance between these two polar opposites of being kind of you have a seeded species that interbred with cavemen, basically 200,000 years ago, and the fact that we're all star seeds as well, and we're connected to the cosmos. And the wolves tend to be the teachers. I think that's a wolf. It's hard to, yeah, that's a wolf. That's definitely a big cat. Okay. And shields, medicine shields. Heather, I started a very nice meditation for us on the Medium channel about shielding from viruses, not just the virus, but any viruses, basically, and strengthening the immune system. So you can check that out. Yeah, there's a lot of goodies on the Medium channel lately. But aces are the ones are new beginnings. So let's kind of, it's been a crazy world. It's been a crazy couple of years. Just kind of really focus on the positives that we still have our souls. We still have each other. Things had, the way the trajectory of society was going, things, have to change. They had to change. So new beginnings, this is a time of new beginnings now. So let me move on to animals. see what wisdom the Steve Farmer's spirit guide animals, messages from your spirit guide, your animal spirit guides. They have the boxes out off camera there, so it's just kind of nudging over and reading from it. This one. Wow, ladybugs. This is a new one. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all things in life. So it's interesting because there's such a diversity of messages this morning, because we started out with the 9 of Cups, which is about abundance and riches, and we get the ladybug, which is about abundance and riches as well. And be willing to receive. So I feel like it's spirit's way of saying to be open to receiving good things and be willing to be deserving. Now ladybugs also, they remind me a little bit of scarabs, which is an earth symbol from Egypt. So I think that oh, okay. I'm just looking at your comments. Ending, yeah, 11, yeah, because it's the 2 pillars, right? The number 11. So a lot of it about the divide, yeah. Like in those rewards, yes. So be open to reflect on those rewards, absolutely, yeah. Let's see what other messages. Yeah, the other thing is, there's, it's. I think I put the Native American card away, but the Native American shield and the body here of the ladybug, very, very similar. So there's, even though it's insects and they fly, it's a very earth message to me and a very grounding message today, I want to say. So reflect on those rewards. Yes. So I wanted to also do an angel card, and then we'll wrap it up. Not literally, but figuratively, wrap it up. So I'm just going to ask Spirit to help me to clear my mind. It's interesting because in my mind, as I'm clearing my mind, I'm seeing an image of the world with angel wings, like almost like white angel wings, kind of got flying, and it's around an image of the globe in my mind. I think it's just Spirit saying to say that the angels are guiding the trajectory of what's happening on Earth. Try to remember that, like anytime that you see something crazy in the news, or somebody criticizes your personal choices of what you want to do with your body, or how you want to handle things, or whatever it is, keep in mind that the angels are guiding this, and we're all going to be okay. And even if the news is scary, or if things are happening that feel like they're threatening your freedom or your vitality or whatever it is, that the angels are guiding the trajectory of the world. I look at the angels more as frequency and consciousness than beings, because when I channel angels, and I'm going to do that tomorrow, that's on the medium channel, I do the angelic channeling. It's a frequency that goes through me, and that's why when I lead the meditation, that's why you guys feel the energies when I'm doing this, because it's a frequency that we all share when we do the meditations, that they come through me, and we join in the meditation. uh, so it's a frequency, but it's a consciousness. So messages will come through also. So today from the card, Aurora. Oh, I like this one. I like the blue, violet, purple, and the angel flying high here. So sometimes the message is more in the imagery and the feeling than the actual words. But you are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon be inspired by your example. Don't descend. That's the message I'm getting from this. Um, and this is the time to excel and succeed to the best of your ability. And some of the work that I do is to try to help people to understand how you can succeed in a time when the economy's changing, and we're in a big inflation, which means we'll be in a big recession before very long, and maybe even in a depression. But the thing is, if you're flying high and you're doing really great in your life, yeah, some people may be resentful because they're not doing so good, but they have the choice to be inspired by your work, or to be jealous of it. It's their choice. It has nothing to do with you. And the more people that are willing to do what they can to excel and succeed, and to turn lemonade into lemons into lemonade, that's the expression, whatever it is, it's uplifting everybody. So that to me feels like a very good morning message. Good freezing morning from the cats. So yeah, we got down to 0 last night. 20, 30 years ago, that would just be a cold winter night. But now it's like, oh my God, 0. It's like, yeah. In winters past, we would hit 0 anywhere from like 5 to 10 times every winter. So anyway, now it's a big deal. But can talk more about global warming and how that's going to lead to global cooling in the ice age if people, if the response continues the way it is. But we'll save that for another time. What else did I want to say? All right. But that's the main message. So I think we got that. And yeah, so 0. So we're gonna get a good dump of snow, and probably a little bit of sleet here, and a little bit of sleet, and then maybe a little bit of rain here in the Catskills where I am. Lower elevations, maybe more of a sleet storm, snow and a sleet storm. -4 by Kimberly. Yeah, the lowest I saw was 0. People have become wimpy. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to the snow. Snow it's basically crystals. So when that's why snow is so special for me, and I figured it out because when I'd step out in a good snowstorm, my ears would start to buzz, my head would open up, and I know, and as I awakened and I started to get more in tune with energy, I started to realize why I love snow so much as a child. It's crystals. They're six-sided. At some point I'll dive deeper into the number six and why that's such an amazing number. It brings it up quickly. It brings us into contact with the ascended earth vibration because all crystals have six sides to them. That's part of the structure of crystals. So it's a sacred geometry. Um, so so nobody's going to tell me if you put three sixes together that it represents the devil. So because it's the earth, basically, unless the earth's the devil. And that again, a topic for another date, not today. But anyway, but snow, it's a crystalline energy. We're actually ascending to becoming crystalline beings. So kind of turning, from what is it, granite to crystal, or whatever, or feldspar to crystal, I guess is the geological transition. But anyways, that's what I had for you this morning. So again, just as a little bit of a repeat, tomorrow at 7, if you want to join the angelic frequency meditation for the full moon, we're going to do that at 7. I don't even know which archangels we're going to work with. That hasn't become clear to me. We may work with a few of them tomorrow. And all right, I think that's good. Like I said, on the comments when this becomes a video, I'll put the links in. So I'm just going to say goodbye to now. Thank you, as always, and I'll see you guys in the transmission tomorrow. For those that come, and I love you. Thank you for joining us, and see you at the next video.